we are rolling and we can't test it, so I'm just gonna. How was your trip down and everything?
Right.
You take a plane or?
Yeah.
The waitress, no, the stewardess is freaking out and shit.
Well, let's put it this way: they had an overbooked flight, and nobody sat beside me. Seriously, and the guy who sat on the end seat asked if he could move. So fuck it. An overbooked flight, and I had 2 seats. Can't beat up the first one.
I don't think this is working right now. I hear shit coming out.
Shouldn't, I don't fucking know. You got it on the
I hear music
radio.
coming out of the motherfucking microphone.
Yeah, here, it should be working now.
It is now.
Well, that question was stupid anyway. Where have you been since you got out of prison?
YMCA.
Is that, was that in Detroit or?
Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay. And tell me about your new band, the Murder Junkies.
Well, I don't know. I got a bunch of guys I'm playing with. Whoever I play with is going to be the Murder Junkies.
Oh, okay.
I had a band, and when the time came to go, they weren't ready, so fuck them. And you know, like I say, the band's not ready when it's time to go, then they're gone. I got, you know, whoever's ready to go when I go is going.
All right.
So basically, I can't. I mean, I've tried it in the past. I cannot get a steady band because nobody really is willing to go to the extremes or is ready to. I mean, I'm ready to go when duty calls at any given time of the day. If it's time to go, it's time to go. And then, you know, fuck it. Whoever's ready is going.
All right. And from the Jabbers to the Murder Junkies, which band was your favorite to play in?
I don't really have a favorite. Basically, the band I'm playing with at the time is the band that's my favorite. I mean, every band had a certain situation. Every band had a certain era. Every band had a certain purpose. It's like when you go to war, you start out, you plan your strategy, you go in and annihilate. I mean, you can take the Jabbers all the way up through. And it seems to get more dangerous as it goes along, yeah. But they're all necessary. You need all of them because I've learned the hard way and I took the hard knocks, but the only way that you're going to get to the position that I'm in is if you go that way. You go through the battles, you go through the bullshit. So all of them, I mean, I can't really say one was more important than the other because they all had a, but when they were gone, once they were gone and behind me, fuck them, they were gone. I don't ever play with anybody after they're gone. They don't get a second chance.
All right, how come the name for the band, the Scumfucks, seemed to last longer than almost all your other bands? They seem to be on more albums than...
Well, I was in New Hampshire at the time, and we couldn't get gigs anywhere. And financially, I couldn't tour at the time, and we were just sort of a hang-around band, do dope over the room, and get high and make records, and go around and try to, you know, get into much trouble. I don't know, we stayed together, but basically, we weren't doing a whole lot of live shows. So, I mean, we were just really getting high and fucked up. That was really when we felt like recording. We set up 4-track in the motherfucking house living room and go. But, you know, the same thing. There were 2 lineups for the Scumfucks. You know, fucking 2 of them. Fuck them. They weren't, like I said, you know, when somebody isn't ready or somebody does something that I don't mean, I'm the man. If I don't want them, they're gone.
All right. Okay, probably a bad question I'll ask anyway. Which one of the Cedar Street Sluts was the best fuck? Did you fuck anyone?
Actually, the drummer I was with, I didn't fuck the other 2. Now this is important too. The Cedar Street Sluts that had an album on the but that's not the same band.
Yeah, I know. That's the same question.
I was with the drummer, and that was really it. But that band actually was a band that I actually found at a place called the Zoo. It was near Cedar Street, and they were basically hookers and one was a junkie. It was basically street girls and kind of real scaggy and scummy looking. And kind of molded them into what I wanted them to be. It didn't last long, obviously. I mean, the women just couldn't last in my band because, you know, I gotta go and they can't, and you're gonna get a boyfriend or whatever, and you know, that is relationship shit. But that, I thought that they were great for what they did. I mean, I thought the stuff I did with the Cedar Street Sluts was, I mean, Bad Habits and all that's great. Great.
Okay, I'll just skip that question. What do you think of the tribute records that people have put out for you, like the Chemical Dolls and Rawhead and all that?
I haven't heard any of them. I don't know. I mean, I don't really put a whole lot of thought into it. I don't know. I mean, my records are the only things that are important to me. If somebody puts out a record, I don't generally hear it, and I generally don't go out of my way to listen to it. The records I do are my interiors and what I'm going through at the time. If somebody puts out a tribute record, I mean, I wouldn't do it myself because I couldn't sing somebody else's song. I mean, I have to sing my own. So I don't know. I mean, that's if they want to do it. But I don't go out of my way to listen to it.
Two people who had a kind of self-destructive side to them, Johnny understood they died, you know, in the last year. Do you consider them like predecessors to you, or do you have any thoughts on their deaths or anything like that?
I think it's, I mean, the ultimate rock and roll lifestyle is a Russian roulette lifestyle anyway. I mean, what Johnny did and what Stiv did, I mean, I went way beyond, I think. I mean, Stiv's was a freak accident, and Johnny's was inevitable. But I don't look at anybody else's what they do and judge me by what they do. I do what I do. And my life, I move it very fast. I accelerate very fast. My motto is, if tomorrow ain't here, fuck it, you live for today. Do whatever you want to do today, spend it up, do it hard. And if tomorrow gets here, you worry about that. And when that gets here, you worry about it. You don't think about that. So, you know, when my time comes, and like I said, if you accelerate death, then if you seek death, you accelerate life, which is actually true, because you're living so fast and you're putting so much time, so many years in such a little bit of time, that if I was to die tomorrow, I probably still live more years than most people do anyway. So that's the way I choose to do it. Because fuck it, I don't want, you know, to get old and there's no purpose anyway. Once you get done what you got to do, like I said, you lay down the road work, you sit down, you say whatever you got to say, you make your purpose known, and then you leave. Because to me, being here now, I'm a complete alien on this planet. So to me, the next life is going to be the better life. It's going to be, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really exciting. So I'm taking all I can do here. I'm taking it all. Yeah, don't worry about a thing.
Yeah, go.
Can't do it. I just go. And when I hit and I crash and I'm gone, then I go to the next land.
Yeah, and more than other rockers, it seems I can relate to you more because you seem to stay more current than most other people who have been around as long as you have.
Well, you got people like Johnny who really lived off his legend and Sheet. I mean, these guys are great. They're all friends of mine, but you got to go on. You got to stay dangerous. You can't live necessarily in the past. I mean, you got to, my whole thing is I want to bring danger and fear, and I want to bring a battleground to my stage, and I want to bring that confrontation. I want to have anything goes, no laws, no limits kind of. When you're walking in a club, it's like you're walking into sort of environment of, if you want to have oral sex or fuck someone at the table or beat somebody, kind of just open it up to the really darkest side of life, and like you're in an alley somewhere, and you know there's that battle line drawn from stage and audience, and when people leave, you know, I want them to be afraid. I want them to feel fear, and I think that's healthy. I think that's great for people. When they leave your show, you're scared shitless, or they're either bleeding, got broken bones or whatever.
Are you gonna still kill yourself on stage, or?
Well, what I decided to do is I'm not gonna do it this year, and my parole runs out September 12th of 1999. what I'd set up was I was gonna, two gigs. I would either do it in 1992 on October 31st if I didn't violate parole. And if I ended up going back to prison, then I would max out September 9th of 93, then I'd do it in 93. So basically the end of the line is October 31st, 93, but it could be October 31st, 92, depending on if I went to jail or not. But in the meantime, when I'm out, it's going to be just tour continuously and get everything done for the mission. The mission plan is number one. Go out and make sure that when I am ready to do it, that everything is set for people to follow when I'm gone, that it will still be there, and it will still be that gag on everybody's back, you know, this black cloud, it won't go away, because I'll make sure I set it up that way before I go.
Is the Scumfuck tradition, is that kind of a pseudonym for the dangerous side of rock and roll? Or?
That's actually a cover song.
I mean, I know, but I mean, you talk about like the Scumfuck tradition, keeping it alive and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an old phrase we used to use, you know, we get drunk, we get high, I'd be like, yeah, it's a Scumfuck tradition. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, okay, you had like a $5 million loss in the state of Michigan.
$3
million?
They threw it out of court.
Yeah.
Said it was frivolous. The only thing I could do is go to a higher court, which I haven't done, but my appeal's still in the court in Michigan, my appeal on my original charge. So, I mean, it's really not over yet. This whole thing will go on. And next, of course, in Milwaukee, where I'll be going to court in August. And I guess Connecticut, I don't know.
Okay, when you talked to that judge after, you know, saying your hunger strike and all that, what did he tell you? Did he tell you, you were a sick man, G.G. Allin, or something like that?
The judge?
Yeah.
He wrote to me, I told him I was going on the hunger strike, and he said that if I would go out the hunger strike, that he would do everything in his power to see what he could do, because he knew he was wrong. I mean, I had a fucking lawsuit in at the time, and I had a lot of connections on the outside, and I was willing to die, and he knew it. And he didn't want me to die in prison, and knowing that somebody might come along to follow up on this lawsuit and appeal and beat it. And after I'd gone so many days without eating, and the guards were like, well, this guy's really going to do this. Then they started to act on it. They let me go a few days because they didn't believe I was going to do it. And after, like, you know, I was starting to get weak, and I just lay in bed. Then they moved on it, and it wasn't really long after that I got out. So I don't know actually if that was the reason they let me out early, but I believe they could have had some sort of purpose to it that he did. I don't know.
Are you glad kind of that Enigma dropped you, you know, considering they folded and everything, and what are your thoughts?
I didn't realize that they folded?
Yeah.
Didn't even know that.
Okay.
Seems like every time I sign with a company, they go under. No, I don't know. I was really pissed off because I signed a contract with them, and when they pulled out of the contract, it just was like, well, look at these motherfuckers. They're supposed to be this really alternative underground label, and they won't do it because I'm in prison. They were afraid. I mean, I was furious. I was like, fuck these motherfuckers. And, you know, I don't give a fuck because I knew when I got out I was going to do an album anyway. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't. It really pissed me off at the time because I had planned on it. But after it was over, I just said, fuck that. You know, I had other people that I was going to work with.
I don't know. Larry Livermore, you know, that fucker from Maximum Rock and Roll, attempts giving his column. Michael Bohr got fired from his job there. Do you think those guys have, like, they're out to get you now? I mean, for a long time they tolerated you, but now they seem to, anybody related to you, or...
They absolutely hate me. They hate me more every year because I go more and more against the whole rock and roll thing. I mean, I'm against tearing the whole rock and roll system down, destroying the whole thing, and rebuilding it in my name. And they don't want that. They see me as a serious threat. And I plan on being a serious threat, and I am, and I will be. And they know that. And they do not, I mean, they talk about censorship in Maximum Rock and Roll. I sent an ad to them once that they wouldn't run. So that right there is so contradictory. They sent me back the ad because I had some words in the ad they would not run. So I sent the ad back in, put censor over it, and they sent it back and said, no way. I mean, and plus the fact that I don't fit into a certain genre with you know, I don't fit in with this band or that band, or I don't play this game or that game, or, you know, I don't kiss the political ass of the music system. I do it my way, alone, any way I have to, with anybody I can get, who's willing to come along for the fight, and they just do not like it. I don't care, because fuck them. I don't give a shit if everybody hates me. It just makes my war a little bit tougher, but with all the shit that I've been through, I mean, I can tolerate just about anything.
Yeah, one thing, they call themselves, you know, anarchists and all that shit, but...
That's not fucking, I mean, that's bullshit.
Yeah, do you consider yourself like a true anarchist?
Yeah.
Doing your own shit?
No, I believe that no laws, no limits. That's how I set up my life. I'm just, yeah.
Did you get any letters from like the estate of Hank Jr. or anything because of those songs? Did you have to get their permission?
No.
Because like they consider it parody or something like that, or?
No, they just maybe either didn't hear it or maybe either didn't want to admit to the fact that I did it. I don't know. I really didn't care. I mean, I'm going to do whatever I want. Somebody's going to sue me, let them take a fucking number.
I've always felt the great thing about your records are that it's not only the raw lyrics, but the raw music as well. Do you think that's one of the best things about you, because your music is raw as well as your lyrics, and how you feel
Well, my
about
music is raw, and they're always a bit different because I always use a different band. But the band, my lyrics are very honest. My lyrics are basically about what I'm doing at the time. This album that I just did yesterday is all the stuff that I wrote when I was in prison, and a lot of it is really it's the system, and but then again, I mean, every album is like every band. It's what I was going through at the time. I mean, you can take a song and somebody can say, you know, okay, well, he wrote a song called Sleeping in His Piss. Now, how can you take a song like that seriously? Well, at the time, I mean, and throughout time, I've been a complete drunk, and I went through a period of my life that I was pissing myself. I would pass out and wake up and I'd be covered with piss. I mean, I had no control over my bladder, so I thought, well, I wrote a song about it. It's called Sleeping in My Piss. I mean, what? I mean, it's an honest title, Sleeping in My Piss. People thought, well, that's stupid. It wasn't stupid. I mean, I was fucking living this kind of thing. You know, it wasn't really funny. And, you know, some of those songs were just so extreme that people didn't want to admit to the reality of it. That somebody was actually, you know, 10-year-old fuck. You know, somebody had actually had fantasies about 10-year-old girls and whatnot. I don't give a fuck, you know, what people think. I'm going to say whatever's on my mind, whatever is happening in my life.
You know, on the new single I got today, Make Murder Legal, I noticed that you sang the lyrics to the B-side over the phone. Was that hard to do? Did the prison people get, you know?
They couldn't stop it. You have control to talk over the phone. That's a legal right that you have. They tried in every way possible to stop it. They put limits on the phones. They tried to write me a ticket one time to keep me off the phones, and I fought it and won. They tried everything in their power to censor my mail so that my mail would stop coming in. They could not stop me. The Michigan Department of Corrections tried so hard to kill me and stop me, and it made me stronger. And I feel victorious. I feel like I beat them. I'm much stronger. I'm more dangerous. I'm more out there now than I was when I got arrested. Now I'm just sort of waiting for the attack. You know, before I got arrested, I was gone. But you know, now they have made me a much more dangerous man. They didn't rehabilitate me at all.
Who's the guy that goes, you know, G.G. Allin before Gypsy Motherfucker?
That was an actual phone call.
Oh, really?
It was on my brother's machine. I was living in Chicago at the time, and I had a lot of enemies in Boston. I got a lot of phone calls. Every time I did a show in the city, I got at least 10 death threats. But again, you know, a lot of bands would say, well, I'm not going to play. We got a death threat. I was like, fuck, I want to play all the more. Let's go. If tonight's the last night, tonight's the last night. And fuck, we're going to go down. I mean, I want to die on stage. I mean, I live to be on stage. I live to be in the studio. When I'm not playing and I'm not recording, I mean, for me, just getting up in the morning and going through life is not per se like you know, I don't know how you guys live, but I'm sure you guys can get along, you got friends, but for me, life is a very hard thing, because I don't associate with people, and I just live a very alienated existence, and it's very hard. People don't accept me because of the way I look, and I don't change, so fuck them. And it's very hard for me just to get through a day of life. I mean, it's very hard. So the stage and what I do is really what I live for. And if that's the way I'm going to die, then I mean, that's what I want, so be it.
Yeah, speaking of enemies, a lot of people like to claim that they kicked your ass, especially, you know, around here.
Oh yeah, everybody wants to claim they kicked my ass, and they played in my band, they were my best friend. I don't know any of these motherfuckers. They never kicked my ass, I never played in my band. Everybody on the East Coast played with G.G. Allin. I don't know when and what lifetime, but when I'm dead, so many people come up, oh yeah, I played with Gigi, man, we were best friends. I'll tell you right now, I don't have any friends, very few, I count them on one hand. And very few bandmates that I've played with in the past that I really would even give a fuck about anyway. They really, you know, I used them up, and when they were all used up, I just discarded them.
Didn't one of the ex-disappointments talking shit about you?
No, he wasn't really talking shit about me, but he kind of wimped out when it came to the court. I mean, he didn't come in, and he should have came because he handcuffed this girl to the bed, and ended up taking the rap for that because he wouldn't come to court. So that's something that I didn't do. There were other things that I didn't do that I got blamed for, which they could have got me off, but they were too afraid. I mean, the thing is, when you're in a band and you play with me, you know, you got to have that unity. As far as, you know, if we'd all gone to court together, we would have all got out. But because they were afraid, I ended up getting stuck in a hole.
Mm-hmm. Did you meet any people who knew you were in prison and maybe had a grudge against you or anything?
You know, there's always a few. You're in a really crowded environment, but I tell you, when I first went to prison, it was your hardest time. You go through quarantine, that's when you're tested. I had the shit beat out of me a couple times. And I've seen a lot of white guys, there's a lot of black gangs. I've seen a lot of white guys get the shit beat out of them and lock up. That wasn't my intention. When I got the shit beat out of me, it pissed me off. And my attitude was, and I made it known, I said, look, these motherfuckers are going to have to kill me. I'm going out there tomorrow, and motherfuck them motherfuckers. I'm going out. And after I made that known, I got my respect. They're like, well, this guy, we ain't going to fuck with him because he don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Are you still going to do that cover of Folsom Prison Blues when the Anti-Scene album?
Didn't know anything about that one.
Jed told me about that a long time ago when you just got into prison.
Probably not. I mean, we just did this album, and I think that there's really no need to do anything else this time.
Yeah.
I thought a cool song to do. I can write so many originals. I don't really see the need to write to do anything. I mean, I did a song called "My Prison Walls." That's kind of like my Folsom Prison Blues, Adrian Prison Blues.
Explained on the new LP, the anti-personality disorder, there's a thing with you doing the age grade, and that's a little different from a lot of your bands because you're doing it from a woman's point of view, the songs.
No, we were doing it from a man's point of view, but we were dressed like women. Well, we went in, I mean, we sang, instead of cock on the loose, it was cunt on the loose. I just put myself in a woman's role, the way I would be if I was a woman. If I was a woman, I'd be a slut. You know, the same way I am when I'm a man. I can't really see all these fucking women. You got all these fucking feminist groups running around crying, oh, men abuse us, all this and that, and then when you get into a court of law, what woman's word is fucking like God. If a woman says a man did something, then that motherfucker did it, whether he did it or not. So these fucking feminist groups, I mean, where do they come off saying, I mean, what about what the women do to the men? So I put myself in a situation where I would take that woman's point of view from my point of view, and that's the way I'd be. I mean, it's like Leslie putting herself on the G.G. Allin altar, and then after it's over, she failed. She like couldn't deal with it, so she ran. I mean, you don't run and tell on somebody. When you enter into something and you fail it, then you take your failure. You say, okay, I failed. That was a stupid move. You don't go and run and squeal and rat on somebody and put the motherfucker in prison for your mistake. because she knew what she was getting into. I don't buy that shit at all. People know me, man. They know what I'm capable of. They know that I can sit here, be real calm. They know if they trigger me off, I can be some son of a bitch that they don't want to be around.
That Carrie girl who's taping you and shit, she said, well, I find offense to his lyrics, you know, about raping women and all that. And I was like, you know, well...
Yeah, I'd like to be raped. I wish some women would rape me. Fuck. I'm all for it.
Where do you sign up?
Yeah. I know, you know, the thing of it is, man, these women are just they're just too much. They're too into this whole fucking woman thing, man. Why don't they live their fucking lives and try to have some times and just... Where are all the cool women anymore? Women are so fucking wussies now. I mean, it makes me just not even want to be with a woman or have a relationship. I'd rather just find a prostitute, because a prostitute's tough. They'll do what you want to do, and then you don't have to put up with the bullshit.
Dude, have you ever, you know, found a girl that was really, you know, into the whole, she was just like, you know, a female version of you or something like that?
There's been a couple that claim to be. But the main thing of that is I'm real and they're not. I mean, everybody can sort of get up there and try to be me. I mean, it's real easy to shit on stage. It's real easy to piss on stage. It's real easy to maybe, but it's not real easy to do it all the time. It's not real easy to do this every day of your life. It's just, you know, I like it. I mean, the pain just inspires me. So, I mean, there's a big difference in like a lot of the bands today, especially some of these heavy metal bands with the outrageous names and, you know, I'm going to go castrate your fucking aunt or something, or your uncle, or whatever the fuck they're going to do. But they're not real. I mean, it really is shock value. So when people say that what I do is shock value, I'm appalled by it, because if it shocks you, that's just too bad. Because that's my life. If my life shocks you, that's okay with me, but I don't do it just to shock you. I do it because I want to live that way.
You said after, you know, your job is over and when you kill yourself and all that, you hope that other bands will carry your legacy on and shit. What bands do you think will be doing that?
You know, it's really hard to say. I don't know, because bands now just want to they want to play that almighty game. Get on a major label. I mean, the whole corporate ladder. It's I don't know. It just seems to me that way.
Okay.
I see very few bands, I see very few bands that are so dedicated that they would die for the mission that they believe in, as I would.
Yeah. Did you actually go cold turkey in prison, or were you able to kind of, you know, just slow it down a little?
I went cold turkey, but I'll tell you, for like 3 months, it was like this. I was valiant out. And it was very hard for me, because for years I never slept. The only way I slept was when I passed out. And I did not know how to fall asleep at all. So when I got the main reason I went to my bank to begin with was because I was out of money for dope and booze, and I had to have it. So that's one reason why I got caught too. But yeah, when I got arrested, that was my main thing. What am I going to do? I can't drink. I didn't think about going to prison. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I'll never sleep again. And you know, after 4 or 5 months, and you know, I kind of, you know, you do that cold turkey thing, and then you kind of get out of it.
Do you think sober GGL or drunk GGL is more dangerous?
I think they're both dangerous. I mean, they both got the same mind. There's just a lot of triggers that, you know, sometimes when I'm drinking, it makes them a little bit thinner. But you know, sometimes when I'm sober, I'm pretty motherfucker.
Yeah. What's this about you attacking the singer of Live Skull on stage? I just heard somebody talking about it.
Oh, that was shit 3 or 4 years ago. I was in a club, and she was saying some shit about me, and I was in the audience. I guess she knew I was there. I don't know, maybe she didn't. I kept saying to my brother, man, what the fuck she's talking about me? I was drunk. He was like, yeah, well, don't worry about it. She's like, well, Gigi Allen's here tonight. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he started. My brother knows when I'm just pissed. He's one of the few people that can tell when I'm ready to go off. And I was shaking, and I was ready, and he knew it. He's like, man, just be cool, you know, just let him play. She said it again. She said, yeah, Gigi. And I just ran up on the stage, grabbed the bitch, threw her down, knocked the amps over. But then they threw me out.
Okay. Your brother seems, you know, he seemed to be real close, and he seemed to be one of the leaders in trying to get you out of prison. You know, doing a bunch of
Yeah, he helped me out a great deal.
shit. And
Him and his wife.
And he's living in New York now.
True.
Okay. All right. What exactly did Black and Blue do to fuck you up and shit?
Well, yeah, enough tape. No, I don't know. For a long time, I was really pissed at Black and Blue because the way they presented my records, they put them out with different covers. They changed the original covers, which, I mean, you don't change something that somebody puts their life into. You don't change something that I do. I mean, I did those fucking records on my own, folded them all over. And they, I mean, I'm glad that they put them out. And don't get me wrong, I hated that they changed the covers. They didn't give me a lot of money, but they're actually now they're starting to come around to listening to me a little bit more.
The new album that you just did with Anti-Scene, is that gonna be, that's gonna be out on New Roads from France, or?
Yeah.
What's that like, and what, you know, like a title or anything yet?
Well, the name of the album is called Murder Junkies.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
Okay. And the song titles or something like that.
War in my head, I'm your enemy, prison walls, kill the police. Murder for the mission, I love nothing. Sister sodomy, I don't know. That's the only ones I can. There's about 20 fucking titles. I can't think of them all.
This spin interview that you did that affect your stay in prison? Do you think that maybe they took notice of that, or was it your Hungry Striker?
You know how Spin took notice of that? I called the motherfuckers up, collect, and they took it. And I got Greer on the phone, and I said, listen, man, I'm in some fucking trouble, and I don't seem to be getting any motherfucking support by you assholes. I said, what are we gonna do about it? You know, I'm the rock and roll man, and you motherfuckers are just, I'm in prison for what I do. You mparticularly don't obviously think that it's important. And I said, I think it's fucking time. You motherfuckers look. And I told him just like that. He said, yeah, wait. I'm going to put a tape recorder on the door right now. So, and I did the same with Sound Choice. I called him up and said, look, we got to talk. We got to talk now. I got to okay, we'll roll. And I just approached these people myself, pretty much. And
they took it and made it pretty big, really.
Because, I mean, I didn't necessarily do it like people think because, you know, I'm such a media hound. I did it because I was fighting the system, and the only way to fight the system is with outside support, because they hate it. They hate it when people have outside access. The prison officials come down hard on you. They try to make, like I said, they try to cut down my phone time. They try to give me tickets to keep me off the phone. They try to censor my mail. My outside contact was strong, and that's why I kept doing it. I knew the corruption that was going on. I knew they were getting $24,000 for every prisoner they put in prison from the federal government, and I knew they weren't giving a 10 of that or less to the prisoners. The other money's going to the prison guards, and I know for every 6-month block, they get another 17 guards. The whole thing is politics, and all it is to build more prisons, to put more people to work at the prisoners' expense. I knew all, I mean, I started studying. When I went to prison, I went to the law library, and I started studying. I'm going to beat these motherfuckers. I'm going to beat them at their own game. I'm going to do it my way, but I'm going to learn how to do it right, so I can beat them right, and I did.
Do you think that they didn't expect, you know, so there was not a whole lot of support, like for Jill Gaffer or some fucker like that. But
oh yeah, but there was enough support. I mean, like you said, it wasn't like it would have been if it was Jello or somebody like that. But there was enough support to say that I got 30 to 35 letters a day, and most of those prisoners got 2 letters a year. They knew the power that I had.
Yeah.
I could be on the phone all day long if I chose to be talking because I knew so many people, but the other part of it is you can't, when you're in prison, you're sort of fighting the system, but at the same time, you're living there, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you got to put yourself in prison. You can't, like, put 1 foot out and 1 foot in. You can't say, well, I'm living in the outside world and I'm living in, because that's going to really completely destroy you physically. So what you got to do is you got to say, I'm in prison. I got to live here. I gotta deal with these motherfuckers. I gotta hustle this motherfucker to get something out of him because they're gonna do it to me. I gotta do it before they do it to me. And because you've got to put yourself there to beat it. If you try to live in the inside and the outside, you'll lose on the inside because you'll be weak. You've got to put yourself there 100%, but at the same time, you've got to make it known what's going on and get that support.
Have you ever been on stage, you know, and really going at it full throttle, and then something, you know, for some reason just, you know, really freak you out? That's something maybe weirder than what you expected or something like that? Or
I really hurt myself bad at times when I didn't really realize it. I broke my ribs and I cut my leg so bad that I bled so much that I passed out even, and you know, I cracked some bones and physically just mutilated myself to the point where I didn't realize. When I'm on stage, you gotta understand, I'm in such adrenaline. There's just such a trance that I'm in. This is where I live, and I can do anything. I mean, I can take bottles that most people would probably crack their skull, and take thick bottles, break them over my head and not feel it, cut myself open and not feel it. I mean, and literally do things that most people physically could not do. I mean, I did go to the hospital for it, and I went to jail for a lot of other things that I did. But that's what I had to do, because I was in my world, and that's my world. And if I go, I drive myself to go to the edge. I drive and drive and drive. And when you're going that fast at something, there's always the possibility that one time the brakes are going to fail. But I don't mind, because it's fun. If the brakes fail, then fuck it, I'm on my ride out, but I'll enjoy it.
Those other court cases you mentioned you've got in Wisconsin and Connecticut, are they all like indecent exposure shit?
Connecticut's an indecent exposure to minors, and threatening the life of my audience, if you can believe that. I never heard of that law. I guess that might have been a new one they wrote in. The indecent exposure to minors should be brought against the club owner, not myself, for one. The indecent exposure should go against the club owner, and threatening the life of the audience is a two-way street. And people know when they come to my show that it's a war, it's a battle, it's open sexuality. I've had oral sex on stage. I've broken people's bones. They've broken my bones. Hey, I'll do it to you, and you do it to me. We'll see who does it better.
But do you think that they'll trump up the charges or something like that?
That's pretty trumped up right there. Threatening the life of my audience. I mean, what is that? Attempted murder on 300 people? I don't understand that. But apparently, they thought me enough of a threat to say I was a danger to people in the audience.
What do you think about?
Well, the way the Milwaukee thing is disorderly conduct for defecation and masturbation. I don't know what's so disorderly about that, but Milwaukee.
Do you think that it could ever get to the point where that there's such an energy level between you and your audience that you could really do some, like, maybe, you know, start a real riot, a large scale type thing?
I always try. I have. I got arrested for inciting a riot in Lowell, Massachusetts. One time, when I played in Ann Arbor, they were coming in with helmets on. When we played at a college in upstate New York, they were coming in with the helmets on. Every show I did, the cops were in there, coming in. Every show, especially in '89. '89 was I've done some brutal tours, but '89 was the most brutal tour of rock and roll. I was touring with broken ribs, a broken shoulder bone, a broken ankle, cut up, bleeding everywhere. Bleeding from one gig to another, just tying myself off, just to stop the blood enough so that I can get to the next show. When I got to the next show, I'd be in that trance again, so I'd forget about the pain, fuck that motherfucker up some more. But I did a month's worth of playing with broken ribs.
Did you get any treatment for it?
Yeah, cocaine.
Oh.
I was doing treatment.
Did you get any new tattoos in prison?
No.
They don't allow that? Or?
Well, it doesn't matter if they allow it or not. I just, at the time, I got the tattoos that I want. And I'll get more. It didn't interest me at the time.
You say you did a lot of reading and stuff. Has that maybe changed your outlook and shit by reading things about
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's mandatory that everybody in the country ought to go to prison for a year, because you don't know, and you don't know, and people do not know what the prison system is like. The outside world thinks that if you're in prison, you belong there. You are an outcast. You are a bad motherfucker.